Welcome back to Coin Age Era, the channel where coins are not just metal, but living witnesses of history. Today's journey takes us deep into the heart of the Soviet Union, a world once divided by ideology, power, and secrecy. The 15 Kopeks denomination held a unique position in the Soviet monetary system, existing perfectly between small change and meaningful daily value. In a country where wages were fixed, prices were controlled by the state, and private wealth was discouraged, this coin represented balance. With 15 Kopeks, a Soviet citizen could buy public transport tickets, basic food items, newspapers, or even save small amounts toward monthly needs. The year 1983 places this coin during a period of stagnation in the USSR, when economic growth was slowing but the system still appeared strong from the outside. Millions of these coins were minted not as collectibles, but as tools to support a massive, centrally planned economy where every transaction was watched, measured, and controlled. This coin was never meant to be rare. Yet today it has become a historical artifact, preserving the memory of how everyday life functioned under Soviet rule. The design of the 1983 15 Kopeks coin speaks louder than words. On one side, the iconic state, emblem of the USSR, dominates the surface, a hammer and sickle placed over a globe, wrapped in wheat sheaves, crowned with a star. This imagery was carefully chosen to represent the unity of workers and farmers, global communist ambition, agricultural strength, and the guiding light of socialism. The inscription CCCP is not decoration. It is a declaration of identity, power, and ideology. On the reverse side, the large 15 is framed by wheat branches, symbolizing prosperity and abundance, even though, in reality, shortages were common. The year 1983 stands boldly at the bottom, marking this coin as a product of a system nearing its final decade. Every line, curve, and symbol on this coin was designed to reinforce loyalty to the state and remind citizens that even their money belonged to the ideology of communism. The 1983 USSR 15 Kopeks coin was minted in enormous quantities at Soviet mints using durable copper-nickel alloys, chosen for strength rather than beauty. The Soviet government valued longevity and efficiency over artistic detail, ensuring that coins could survive years of heavy circulation. By the early 1980s, the Soviet economy was facing deep internal problems, outdated factories, low productivity, and lack of innovation. Yet coin production continued uninterrupted. Money flowed, but value was controlled, not earned. This coin circulated during a time when shelves were often empty, wages were equal but limited, and citizens depended on state distribution systems. The 15 Kopeks coin became part of daily survival, passing from hand to hand in markets, transport stations, and government stores. The 1983 USSR 15 Kopeks coin was minted in enormous quantities at Soviet mints using durable copper-nickel alloys, chosen for strength rather than beauty. The Soviet government valued longevity and efficiency over artistic detail, ensuring that coins could survive years of heavy circulation. By the early 1980s, the Soviet economy was facing deep internal problems, outdated factories, low productivity, and lack of innovation. Yet coin production continued uninterrupted. Money flowed, but value was controlled, not earned. This coin circulated during a time when shelves were often empty, wages were equal but limited, and citizens depended on state distribution systems, the 15 Kopeks coin became part of daily survival, passing from hand to hand in markets, transport stations, and government stores. Each transaction added another invisible layer of history to its surface, making every surviving coin today a genuine witness of Soviet daily life. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, coins like the 1983 15 Kopeks instantly lost their legal value, but gained historical importance. What was once common became a reminder of a vanished world. Today, collectors see this coin as a tangible connection to the Cold War era, the Iron Curtain, and a system that shaped millions of lives. While the coin is not extremely rare, its historical weight gives it lasting value. Depending on condition, mint state examples can be worth more than face value, especially among collectors who focus on Soviet-era numismatics. More importantly, this coin represents a lesson that empires rise, systems fall. But physical objects like coins preserve truth longer than words ever conduct in today's market. The 1983 USSR 15 Kopeks coin usually holds modest monetary value, but strong historical appeal. Circulated coins may sell for a few dollars, while uncirculated or mint condition, examples can reach higher prices, depending on demand, condition, and collector interest. However, true collectors do not measure this coin by money alone. Its real worth lies in its story, a story of ideology, control, daily struggle, and global power. Coins like this are often kept not for profit, but for preservation, reminding future generations of how currency once served politics more than people. The 1983 USSR 15 Kopeks coin, while modest in face value during its circulation, has gained a remarkable position in the world of coin collecting due to its unique historical context and socio-political significance. To the casual observer, this coin might appear as a simple piece of copper-nickel alloy stamp with the denomination 15 and the iconic hammer and sickle emblem. Yet for collectors and historians alike, it represents a tangible connection to a complex and highly organized society that no longer exists. When evaluating the worth of this coin, one must understand that its value is not merely monetary but intertwined with its story, the story of an economy operating under central planning, of a society living under strict governmental control, and of an empire struggling to maintain its influence. In the late stages of the Cold War, coins of the Soviet Union were produced with a deliberate purpose, durability, and uniformity over aesthetic extravagance. This ensured that even in times of hardship, when shortages of goods were common, the currency remained reliable, predictable, and universally recognized within the Soviet territories. As a result, millions of these coins circulated daily, touching the hands of factory workers in Leningrad, students in Moscow, farmers in Siberia, and soldiers stationed on distant fronts. Each coin, though physically identical to the next, accumulated invisible layers of history through its circulation, scratches, wear, and patina, all telling silent tales of Soviet life, struggle, and continuity. Collectors today prize this coin not because of rarity in the conventional sense, but because of the rich numismatic narrative it carries. While coins from earlier or rarer mint years of the USSR can fetch higher prices due to limited mintage or unique eras, the 1983 15 Kopeks occupies sweet spot in the collector's market, accessible enough for new collectors to acquire, yet rich enough in historical context to captivate seasoned numismatists. Its condition plays a pivotal role in determining monetary value. A coin with minimal wear, a crisp strike, and clear, legible details will naturally command a premium over one worn thin from decades of circulation. Subtle variation mint marks, edgy finishes, or even minor dye differences can dramatically influence its desirability. For instance, coins minted in Leningrad versus Moscow may carry slight differences that, when authenticated, can become significant to advanced collectors who focus on specific minting, anomalies, or provenance. Additionally, 1983-15, Kopeks coin serves as an entry point to understanding the broader Soviet coinage system, where denominations like 5, 10, and 20 kopeks, along with the 1 ruble note, interplayed in daily life to reflect the hierarchy of economic transactions, consumer habits, and state-controlled pricing. Beyond the marketplace, the intrinsic value of this coin lies in its educational and historical significance. Collectors often value these coins as teaching tools that illuminate the complexities of Soviet society. Rodinha 1983-15. Kopeks coin is akin to holding a fragment of mid-1980s Eastern Europe, a tangible relic from a period marked by geopolitical tension, ideological propaganda, and socio-economic uniformity. The hammer and sickle emblem encapsulates the philosophy of labor and agriculture driving the state, while the wheat sheaves symbolize the ideological promise of abundance that often contrasted starkly with the realities of rationed goods and controlled production. Each scratch, nick, or discoloration on the coin serves as a silent witness to decades of use, to the hands of children saving small amounts for candy, to adults paying for tram rides, and to markets where bartering occasionally supplemented official monetary transactions. For modern numismatists, the 1983-15 Kopeks coin offers a blend of accessibility, historical depth, a narrative richness. Its moderate availability ensures that collectors do not need to spend exorbitant sums to add it to their Soviet-era collection, yet its presence allows them to explore broader themes such as Cold War geopolitics, economic centralization, the role of ideology in everyday life, and the evolution of currency design under socialist regimes. Coins like this also invite comparative study. How do Soviet coins of the 1980s compare with contemporary US, UK, or Western European coinage in terms of metal composition, minting technology, circulation patterns, and symbolic messaging? For instance, while the US dimes and quarters of the same period emphasized presidents and national symbols with highly polished finishes, the Soviet 15 Kopeks relied on simplicity, functional design, and ideological messaging, highlighting a stark contrast in political and cultural priorities. This comparative dimension further enhances the coin's value for collectors who wish not only to own an artifact but to understand the society from which it emerged. Finally, in today's market, while face value is long obsolete, collector value continues to grow steadily, fueled by interest in Cold War memorabilia, Soviet history, and educational numismatics. Circulated examples typically sell at modest prices, often accessible to beginners, while uncirculated specimens, those with rare mint marks, or coins in exceptional condition, can attract serious attention from advanced collectors. Beyond price, the coin represents a story that no paper history can fully capture: the tactile, experiential history of a vanished superpower. It is this combination of accessibility, narrative depth, and historical authenticity that makes the 1983 USSR 15 Kopeks coin a highly desirable piece for anyone serious about collecting or studying coins. The legacy of the 1983 USSR 15 Kopeks coin extends far beyond its material value, transforming it into a symbol of cultural memory, historical reflection, and collector fascination. While during its circulation it was seen as a routine piece of currency, used daily by citizens to purchase modest goods or pay for transportation, today it stands as a silent witness of an era that shaped the late 20th century. Each coin carries the invisible fingerprints of the Soviet people, the factory worker whose lunch was paid for with it, the schoolchild who saved a small collection, the tram conductor who counted dozens of these coins each day, and the countless citizens who unknowingly contributed to a massive economic system orchestrated from the Kremlin. Its presence in the numismatic world allows collectors to connect with these stories, bridging the gap between modern observers and the lived reality of a society defined by central planning, ideological discipline, and the omnipresence of the state, unlike coins from purely capitalist economies, which often celebrate leaders or aesthetic design. The 1983 15 Kopeks is a product of purpose-driven symbolism, where every curve of the hammer and sickle, every stroke of the wheat sheaves, and every ray emanating from the globe on the obverse side speaks of a political and social vision meant to inspire unity, loyalty, and adherence to collective ideals. This imbues the coin with a unique narrative quality, allowing collectors and historians alike to explore the tension between ideological perfection and everyday human experience. Culturally, the coin serves as a lens to view the Soviet experience of the early, often overshadowed by broader geopolitical narratives such as the Cold War and nuclear standoffs, but deeply influential in shaping domestic life. With food shortages, controlled wages, state-run shops, and rigid societal norms, the ordinary coin became a part of the lived routine, a small yet essential instrument of survival and daily interaction. Soviet citizens did not only see the coin as money. It was a reassuring object in a predictable system, a tool for planning, budgeting, and participating in a carefully structured economy. As such, each 1983 15 Kopeks coin that survives today carries the imprint of that society, acting as a time capsule that offers insights into how a centralized state sought to control not only the economy but the rhythm of everyday life. Historians and numismatists find immense value in studying circulation patterns, minting variations, and wear on these coins because they reveal nuanced aspects of Soviet society, patterns of consumption, regional differences in coin distribution, and even subtle indicators of economic stress during the later years of the USSR. From a collector's perspective, deepens the understanding of why this coin matters beyond its monetary value. While market prices may fluctuate depending on condition, rarity, or specific minting marks. The emotional and narrative value of the coin continues to rise. Fueled by interest in Cold War memorabilia and Soviet cultural artifacts, collectors often treat it not just as an object of trade, but as a storytelling medium, using it to educate others about history, to build themed collections, or to create exhibitions, illustrating the daily life and ideology of the USSR. Stories abound among collectors' anecdotes about coins found in old family wallets, rediscovered in boxes from the 1980s, or discovered in flea markets across Europe and Asia. Each coin carries a whisper of its previous life, whether it was held by a factory worker in Moscow, a farmer in the vast expanses of Siberia, or a child saving for a small treat. Its survival is a testament to durability and to the care with which these coins circulated. Each scratch and worn edge becomes part of the historical narrative, adding character and authenticity to a piece of history that modern observers can physically touch, examine, and preserve. Moreover, the 1983-15 Kopeks has inspired comparative studies among numismatists who examine it alongside other denominations, years, or even coins from other socialist states. Scholars and collectors explore variations in minting techniques, alloy composition, symbolic design changes, and circulation longevity, all of which reveal insights into Soviet priorities, technological capabilities, and regional economic differences. By studying this coin, one gains not only a sense of Soviet monetary policy, but also a deeper appreciation for how the USSR sought to project its values through everyday objects. It highlights a society where even currency carried ideology, where coins were more than money. They were instruments of state messaging, reflections of national identity, and subtle tools of social control. In essence, the 1983 USS of 15 Kopeks coin is both artifact and storyteller, bridging the gap between history, culture, and modern collector fascination. It captures the essence of Soviet life in the early 1980s, a blend of ideological pride, economic discipline, and daily perseverance. For those who study, collect, or simply admire it today, the coin represents more than its metal or face value. It is a living memory of a vanished superpower, a tactile connection to global history, and a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry immense cultural, educational, and emotional weight. Holding or observing this coin allows one to touch the human side of history, the lived experience behind political decisions, economic policies, and global tensions. It is a timeless reminder that every coin has a story, every scratch has meaning, and every piece of history preserved in metal is an opportunity to connect, reflect, and learn. As we reach the end of our journey with the 1983 USS, our 15 Kopeks coin, it becomes clear that this small, seemingly ordinary piece of metal is so much more than its denomination. It is a silent witness to a vanished empire, a relic from an era defined by ideology, discipline, and the daily lives of millions who lived under a system unlike any other in the world. From the hands of Soviet workers, students, and families to collectors today, it carries stories of everyday survival, political identity, and cultural symbolism, preserved in the subtle scratches, wear, and patina on its surface. While its face value of 15 kopeks may have been modest, its historical, educational, and emotional value is immeasurable. It tells the story of a nation that aspired for global influence, of a society where currency was more than money. It was a message, a tool of social cohesion, and a reflection of the state's values and ambitions. In today's world, the coin allows us to touch history, bridging decades and continents, reminding us that even the simplest objects can encapsulate profound stories of human experience, struggle, and resilience. For collectors, historians, and enthusiasts, holding a 1983 15 Kopeks coin is like holding a time capsule, a direct connection to the lives, hopes, and daily realities of people living in the late Soviet Union. It inspires curiosity, reflection, and a deep appreciation for the intricate link between money, culture, and history. So, whether you are a passionate coin collector, a history enthusiast, or simply someone fascinated by the stories hidden in metal and mint, this coin invites you to explore the unseen layers of the past. Its legacy continues not in cash registers or markets, but in the hearts and collections of those who preserve it, study it, and share its story. The 1983 USSR 15 Kopeks coin teaches us that every coin has a journey, every artifact has a story, and every piece of history is an opportunity to connect with human experience across time. As we close this chapter, remember that history is alive in the smallest details, in the coins we hold, and in the stories we pass on. This coin, humble yet profound, leaves us with a timeless lesson that even the tiniest objects can carry the weight of empires, the lives of millions, and the echoes of history. Thank you for joining Coinage Era today. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Which coin story should we explore next? Stay tuned, because every coin has a story waiting to be told.